What do a glass of wine, a frosty mug of beer, and a neat shot of whiskey have in common with substances like asbestos, tobacco smoke, and plutonium? It's a connection most people never consider, but it's absolutely real. Each of these drinks, no matter how ordinary, is officially classified by the International Agency for Research on Cancer, the IARC, as a Group 1 carcinogen, meaning there is definitive, unequivocal evidence that they cause cancer in humans. This isn't a new idea, nor is it a fringe theory. In fact, the IARC has recognized the carcinogenic potential of alcohol since 1988. Yet, despite decades of research, awareness is stunningly low. According to a 2023 national survey, only about 31% of American adults know that liquor poses a cancer risk, with even fewer aware of the risks from beer and wine. Tonight, we'll explore the science behind alcohol's role in cancer, examine the body count, unpack why this knowledge hasn't reached the public, and discuss what steps individuals and society can take to protect themselves. So, what happens inside your body when you take a sip of alcohol? The journey begins in the liver, your body's dedicated detox center. Ethanol, the active ingredient in all alcoholic beverages, is broken down into acetaldehyde, a compound so toxic it's classified as a substance that can damage DNA directly. Imagine acetaldehyde as a vandal, roaming through your cells, scribbling errors into the genetic blueprints that guide cell division. Each drink adds to the damage, and over time, these mistakes accumulate, increasing the odds that a cell will go rogue and become cancerous. But the threat doesn't end there. Alcohol increases oxidative stress throughout the body, a process that acts like a slow-burning fire, corroding your DNA, proteins, and cell membranes. For women, alcohol is even more insidious. It raises estrogen levels, a hormone linked to increased breast cancer risk. And for everyone, drinking impairs the body's ability to absorb essential nutrients like folate, the repair crew responsible for patching up DNA errors. Without folate, more damage goes unrepaired, and the risk of cancer rises. The link between alcohol and cancer is not just theoretical, it's dose-responsive. The more you drink, the higher your risk. Even light drinking, less than one standard drink per day, nudges risk higher. A recent analysis of over 100 studies found that just 10 grams of alcohol daily increases breast cancer risk by up to 13%. Multiply that by years or decades, and the cumulative risk becomes significant. There is no safe threshold. Every drink matters. Globally, the numbers are sobering. Alcohol accounts for 1 in every 20 cancer cases worldwide. In the United States alone, it's responsible for an estimated 100,000 new cancer diagnoses and 20,000 deaths every year. These numbers aren't vague statistics. They represent real people, friends, relatives, neighbors. Certain cancers are especially linked to alcohol. Mouth, throat, and esophageal cancers are dramatically more common among heavy drinkers, with risk increasing nearly 6-fold for those who average 4 drinks a day. Liver cancer rates double, largely due to alcohol-induced cirrhosis. Colorectal cancer risk rises 50% for heavy drinkers. And breast cancer, the most common cancer in women, sees risk climb 16% with each additional daily drink. If alcohol were a new product introduced today, it would be flagged immediately as a high-risk carcinogen, unlikely to pass safety standards. But if the science is so clear, why does public awareness lag so far behind? The answer lies in decades of industry influence and outdated regulations. The last major update to U.S. alcohol warning labels was during the Reagan administration, over 40 years ago. In the meantime, beverage companies have invested heavily in studies emphasizing supposed cardiovascular benefits of moderate drinking, often while ignoring or downplaying robust evidence linking alcohol to cancer. These tactics echo strategies used by the tobacco industry, prioritizing profit over public health. Powerful lobbying groups have successfully blocked petitions for stronger, more explicit cancer warnings on labels for decades. Social media and marketing further muddy the waters, glamorizing alcohol as a symbol of relaxation, sophistication, or self-care. while making sobriety seem dull or antisocial. With such pervasive messaging, it's no wonder most people don't recognize alcohol's cancer risk. Even moderate drinking isn't harmless. A 2022 report from the World Health Organization Europe found that half of all alcohol-linked cancers occur in people who drink fewer than 2 drinks a day. For women, each drink per day bumps up breast cancer risk by about 9%. For men, a daily beer raises colorectal cancer risk by 8%. The numbers may look small in isolation, but they accumulate over a lifetime. The misconception that only heavy drinkers face cancer risk is dangerous. In reality, even casual, regular drinking adds up. What about the persistent myth that red wine protects your heart? While polyphenols in wine have been touted for their health benefits, closer analysis reveals that the apparent protective effect is largely an artifact of confounding factors. Many studies compare drinkers to abstainers, but often, abstainers include people who quit due to illness, skewing results. When researchers control for these factors, the supposed heart benefits vanish, while the cancer risk remains consistent across all types of alcohol: beer, wine, spirits, and more. Ethanol is the culprit, regardless of the drink's source. Recently, there's been a push for change. In January 2025, U.S. Surgeon General Dr. Vivek Murthy issued a landmark advisory highlighting the cancer risk from alcohol and recommending updated warning labels for all alcoholic beverages. The proposed labels would explicitly mention breast, colon, and mouth cancers, and guidelines suggest lowering recommended consumption to no more than 1 drink per day for men and half a drink for women. The alcohol industry has pushed back, arguing that clearer warnings would cause consumer confusion, but the underlying concern is clear. Informed consumers might drink less, impacting sales. There's hope, though. The human body is remarkably resilient. Within hours of quitting alcohol, toxic acetaldehyde levels drop sharply. DNA repair mechanisms begin to recover, mending cellular damage. Studies show that even short-term abstinence, like participating in dry January, can improve insulin resistance, lower blood pressure, and reduce inflammation markers. While prior damage isn't completely erased, risk flattens quickly. And stopping drinking before menopause can substantially reduce breast cancer odds for women. Every day without alcohol gives your body a better chance to heal. What can you do to protect yourself and others? Start by accurately tracking your intake. A standard drink is often smaller than people realize. Aim for several alcohol-free days each week to give your body time to recover. If you drink, keep your weekly intake below 100 grams of ethanol, about 5 to 6 standard drinks, to keep your lifetime alcohol-related cancer risk below 1%. Never combine alcohol with smoking. Together, they multiply cancer risk exponentially. And importantly, support policies that limit alcohol's ubiquity, like raising taxes, restricting outlets near schools, and enforcing advertising bans. On a broader scale, countries like Canada, Australia, and Ireland are leading the way with explicit cancer warnings on alcohol labels and innovative policies like minimum unit pricing, which have proven effective in reducing consumption and related deaths. These measures demonstrate that systemic change is possible and effective. Conversations about alcohol and cancer can be challenging, but they're essential. Approach loved ones with empathy and curiosity, sharing what you've learned without judgment. Encourage new, healthier rituals as substitutes for drinking, and support those struggling with dependence in finding professional help. Alcohol's link to cancer is clear and well documented. The science is established, but the message has been drowned out by industry marketing and cultural norms. You can't change decades of policy overnight, but you can make informed choices today. Choices that protect your health and help spread this vital information. By advocating for honest labels, supporting public health measures, and sharing these facts, we can shift the conversation and help future generations understand the real risks. One less drink isn't just a personal decision. It's a step towards safeguarding your DNA, your health, and your future.